Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitila Parishtam Vishnupada Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitila Parishta Bhagavat Shila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varg Nitila Parishta Vaishnavas. Sorry, let me start over. Nitila Parishta Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nitila Parishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Pattadash Raghunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Surup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Jai Shri Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal, Gora Mandal, Vraj Mandal, Mathura Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Sarva Abhishta Bharata Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Radha Kund, Shama Kund Ki Jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi Ki Jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yoga Maya Ki Jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev Ki Jai. Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Jug Ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Puri Kshetra Mandal Ki Jai. Shri Nilachal Sundarachal Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Shri Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Sārārtha-darśinī Vritti Ki Jai. Okay, let me share my screen. Hari Bo, Raseshwari Mataji and Pradyumna Prabhu and Mantramurti Mataji. Om Jnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namo Om Vishnu Pada Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vedanta Narayani Namine. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Yang prantamanupetamapettya krityang dvaipayano virahaka tara ajuhava putreti tanmayataya taravo bhinedustang sarvabhuta hridaya munimanatosmi. Narayanam namaskritya narang chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet. Shrinvatang Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridantasto Yabhadrani Vidhunoti Suhrit Satam Nashta Prayeshvavadreshu Nityang Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki. Tavaivasmi, Tavaivasmi, na jivami tvaya vina. Iti vigaya radhe tvam nayamang charanantikam. Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshai Kshiptastakama titaranga madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna vrinde namaste charana ravindam. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, it's exactly 7:30. So now let's... Chapter 8. Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth. So we're reading Srila Viśvanātha Cakravartī Thakur's commentary. And this commentary is 10,080 words long. So altogether. So I'm not sure how, I don't think we can get through it all, but let's see how far we can get. I'll just read the first verse and a couple other verses, the important ones. Because we already went through the Sanskrit past 2 days. Shri Shuka Uvacha Garga Purohito Rajan Yadunang Sumahatapa Vrajang Jagamanandasya Vasudeva Prachodita. Shukadev Goswami said, O Maharaj Parikshit, the priest of the Yaru dynasty, namely Garugamuni, who was highly elevated in austerity and penance, was then inspired by Vasudev to go see Nanda Maharaj at his home. Commentary, Sārārtha-darśinī Vritti commentary by Srila Viśvanātha Cakravartī Ṭhākura. This ceremony describes Krishna's name-giving ceremony, his crawling and stealing butter, his eating dirt, and displaying the universal form. After telling how Krishna killed a series of demons up to Trinavarta, Shukadev Goswami remembered Krishna's name-giving ceremony, which took place before the killing of Trinavarta, and then narrated the story. Okay, so he goes back in time here, huh? Yes. Let me just see if Madhavi Didi is here, Manjari Didi. Yes. And Rukmini Didi. Haribo. Dandavat Pranam. Okay, in case you just came, I'm not reading all the Sanskrit because we already read the Sanskrit in the previous readings. Verse 2. When Nanda Maharaj saw Garugamuni present at his home, Nanda was so pleased that he stood up to receive him with folded hands. Although seeing Garugamuni with his eyes, Nanda Maharaj could appreciate that Garugamuni was adhokshach, that is, he was not an ordinary person seen by material senses. Verse 3. When Garugamuni had been properly received as a guest and was very comfortably seated, Nanda Maharaj submitted with gentle and submits. Dear sir, because you are a devotee, you are full in everything. Yet my duty is to serve you. Kindly order me. What can I do for you? That's really beautiful, actually. That's the mood that the pure devotee doesn't need anything from us. They're not lacking in any way, but they're giving us, their mercy. They're like where we have this fortune of being able to render some service to them, even though they don't need it from us. That's their mercy to us. It's not that we're helping them. Commentary. Nanda Maharaj said, "Since you are complete and fully satisfied within yourself, what service can we possibly render to you? We can do nothing." Or taking the word king as a question, the sentence can mean, "Do you want something, though you are perfect within yourself? Please tell us, and we will try to do that." If we take the first meaning, then Garugamuni would answer, "Coming to your house is pointless." If we take the second sentence, then Garugamuni would reply, "Since I am perfect, what can you do for me?" One should not think in this way. In both cases, coming to Nanda's house is not pointless, for welcoming a saintly person in a house is very valuable. One can see in the scriptures how Sanat Kumar came to Prithu's house, and Vaman came to Bali's house to bestow their mercy. In this mood, Nanda speaks verse 3. Verse 4. "O my Lord, O great devotee, persons like you..." Maybe let's read this looks like a nice verse. Let's read the Sanskrit. Mahadvichalanang... What? I think that's supposed to be Nrinam. Okay. Mahadvichalanang Nrinam Grihinam Dina Chetasam Nishreyasaya Bhagavan Kalpate Nanyata Kuchit. O my Lord, O great devotee, persons like you move from one place to another, not for their own interest, but for the sake of poor-hearted grihastas, householders. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another. Commentary. When great saints leave their ashrams and travel outside, they bring the highest fortune to the householders. Such mercy is beneficial and necessary for the grihastas on earth, but not for the brahmacharis or the demigods. Grihastas who are humble and think themselves lower than the grass, dina chetasam, can receive mercy from the wandering mendicants. But proud, hard-hearted grihastas with crooked mentalities can never receive mercy from the saints. Verse 5. O great saintly person, you have compiled the astrological knowledge by which one can understand past and present unseen things. By the strength of this knowledge, any human being can understand what he has done in his past life and how it affects his present life. This is known to you. Comment. In this verse, Nanda Maharaj begins to intimate his desire to Garugamuni about the Nam Karan, the name-giving ceremony of his son. Nanda Maharaj said, "Not only do you know the treatise, the Ayanam, about the planets, Jyotisham, from which, yet, one can get knowledge beyond gross sense perception, but you have compiled Pranita, you've compiled it as well. By astrology, one can know the past, the avara, and future, the para, of any human being. By examining the charts of this son born to me in my old age, and seeing the lines on his hands and feet, please tell me the auspicious and inauspicious events of the child's future." Verse 6. Tvang hi brahma vidhang shreshta sanskaran kartumarhasi balayor anayor rinang. Oops, I'm Janmana Brahmano Guru. Sorry, it's my habit to read the verses. Verse 6. My Lord, you are the best of the Brahmins, especially because you are fully aware of the Jyotish Shastra, the astrological science. Therefore, you are naturally the spiritual master of every human being. This being so, since you have kindly come to my house, kindly execute the reformatory activities for my two sons. Commentary. Nanda Maharaj continued, "Such a great personality coming to my house is just for my benefit. The benefit is twofold, for the present life and the future life. Of the two, I am now requesting you to deliver the auspiciousness of this present life." Thus Nanda Maharaj begins to speak. "You are not only the best among astrologers, but you are also the best among those who know God. You are most qualified to perform the necessary sanskars, the purificatory rites, because you are expert in telling the future and in chanting mantras." Garugamuni says. But these functions should be done by the Guru. Nanda Maharaj replies. Just by their birth, Brahmins are the spiritual masters for all human beings. Verse 7. Shri Garga Uvacha Yadunang Aham. Oh God, I have to stop doing that. Verse 7. Garugamuni said, My dear Nanda Maharaj, I am the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. This is known everywhere. Therefore, if I perform the purificatory process for your sons, Kṛṣṇa will consider them the sons of Devaki. Commentary. Garuga speaks to advise that the samskaras must be done secretly because of danger to himself and from because of danger to himself and Nanda from Kṛṣṇa. Nanda Maharaj, you are actually a member of the Yadu dynasty, but you are not known as a Yadu because you are not a Kshatriya. However, I am well known as the priest of the Yadus. Therefore, if I don't do this ceremony secretly, there are of doubts. Verses 8 to 9. Kṛṣṇa is both a great diplomat and a very sinful man. Therefore, having heard from Yogamaya, the daughter of Devaki, that the child who will kill him has already been born somewhere else, having heard that the 8th pregnancy of Devaki could not bring forth a female child, and having understood your friendship with Vasudeva, Kṛṣṇa, upon hearing that the purificatory process has been performed by me, the priest of the Yadu dynasty, may certainly consider all these points and suspect that Krishna is the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Then he might take steps to kill Krishna. That would be a catastrophe. Commentary. Garugamuni continued. Everyone everywhere will think this, especially Kṛṣṇa will pursue this matter. Nanda Maharaj replied, But will Kṛṣṇa, being a Brahmavadi, actually kill you? Garga, yes, because Kṛṣṇa is a sinful person, papmati. He will kill people like us. He will certainly do it, because he has already committed violence against your friends, Sakyam, your friend Vasudeva. He will do the same to you. His demoniac intelligence will begin to act. When Kṛṣṇa heard the words of Devaki's daughter, he thought, It is not possible that the 8th child of Devaki is a girl. My enemy Vishnu has certainly been born to Devaki. But by the arrangement of Vasudeva, he was taken to the house of his friend Nanda. My worshipable deity Durga, who has taken the role of Devaki's daughter, said that he who will kill me has already taken birth somewhere. Having ambiguously stated that Vishnu was not born to Devaki but somewhere else, Durga has hinted to me that I should search everywhere and quickly kill him. While thinking in this way and engrossed in looking for his enemy, Kṛṣṇa, upon hearing about my performance of the Namkar, may conclude that Vasudeva's son is in this house, and he will come here to kill the child. This will then be a great fault on my part. Verse 10. Nanda Maharaj said, My dear great sage, if you think that your performing this process of purification will make Kṛṣṇa suspicious, then secretly chant the Vedic hymns and perform the purifying process of the second birth here in the cowshed of my house, without the knowledge of anyone else, even my relatives. For this process of purification is essential. Commentary. By good fortune you have come to my house. When will I again receive such an acharya as you? Today we will do only what is minimally required by the Shastras, and have all the other festivities with music done on another day. Thinking in this way, Nanda speaks this verse. Māmakāyar. This indicates that not even Nanda's brothers should know. Go Vraja. The cow pen is a pure place, and therefore it does not need cleaning. Rahasi means that they will not allow entrance for the workers who usually come into the sheds to take the cows for pasturing. Dvijati. This indicates that Balarama was a Kshatriya and Krishna was a Vaishya, so both were eligible for the Namkaran Samskars. Swasti Vachan. This means that the Punya Yaha, the Swasti and the Riddhi mantras should be recited 3 times. They must be recited before all auspicious rituals. Verse 11. Let me just check everything's working okay. Yep. Haribol, Yashoda Didi, and Ganga Didi, and Sudevi Didi. Haribol. Verse 11. Shukadev Goswami continued. Having thus been especially requested by Nanda Maharaj to do which he already desired to do, Garugamuni performs the name-giving ceremony for Krishna and Balarama in a solitary place. Verse 12. Garugamuni said, "This child, the son of Rohini, will give all happiness to his relatives and friends by his transcendental qualities. Therefore, he will be known as Ram. And because he will manifest extraordinary bodily strength, he will also be known as Bala. Moreover, because he unites 2 families, Vasudev's family and the family of Nanda Maharaj, he will be known as Sankarshan." Commentary. Garugamuni speaks. O Nanda, because your lineage and Vasudev's are, and because Balarama will unite your 2 families, he will be called Sankarshan. The Hari Vangsha says, "Amongst all the Yadus, you, Nanda Maharaj, are most dear to me." Garga did not reveal here that Balaram was transferred, Akarshan, from the womb of Devaki to Rohini, and thus given the name Sankarshan for that reason. Verse 13. This is an important verse, evidence for Mahaprabhu's advent in Kali Yuga. So let's read the Sanskrit. Asan varnastrayo hyasya grinato nu yugam tanu shuklo raktas tata pita idaning Krishnatam gata. Your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. Past, he assumed 3 different colors: white, red, and yellow. Yellow, that's Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And now he has appeared in a blackish color. In another Dwapara Yuga, he appeared as Lord Ramachandra in the color of Shuka, a parrot. All such incarnations have now assembled in Krishna. Commentary. In this verse, Garga tells Nanda that his son is a Mahapurush, a great personality. Your son appears in every yuga and has assumed 3 different colors: red, white, and yellow. Grinato. This indicates that Krishna accepts by his own will. Now, Idaning, at the end of Dwapara Yuga, he has taken the form of Krishna. That is what Garga wants to convey to Nanda. The actual meaning, however, is hidden. Pointing his at Nanda's son, Garugamuni indicates that the white, red, and yellow color forms are Krishna's parts, or angshas, and now he has appeared in his full form as the avatari, the source of all avatars, Krishnatam gata. Or the sentence can mean, the white, red, and yellow forms indicating all the Manvantar avatars, Lila avatars, and Purusha avatars are all included in Krishna, Krishnatam gata. The original form of the Lord has now appeared with all the angshas within himself. The 11th canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam states that the Lord comes in Satya Yuga in a white color, a red color in Treta Yuga, a blackish color in Dwapara Yuga, and a black color in Kali Yuga. Specific colors and names are linked to specific yugas. Taking that statement into account, then why does the yellow color mentioned in this verse belong to an avatar? Why does this yellow color mentioned in this verse belong to an avatar or not? I think there's a mistake in the sentence. Anyways, one should not say that because the word asan means past tense for the 3 avatars, that yellow can refer to a fourth avatar appearing in Dwapara Yuga. We could claim that this word Shama in the 11th canto should read Pita, or that yellow in the present verse should mean Shama by taking the word Apita, not yellow, from the sandhi of Tata and Apita, not yellow or pale, with the meaning of Shama in the present verse. But then there's still the problem of the three colored forms, white, red, and black. The word Tanu is in plural, not singular or dual. Krishna appears in three successive yugas. He also appears in Dwapara Yuga out of order, because according to the 11th canto, Krishna should be in Kali Yuga. To have the three colors of avatars appearing in each of the previous two yugas, and Krishna appearing in Dwapara Yuga, is also not an acceptable proposal. Nor can one claim that Idanim should mean the first part of Kali Yuga, and that Krishna appears in Kali Yuga in agreement with Canto 11. It is well known that Krishna appeared at the end of Dwapara Yuga. According to the Bhagavatam 1.18.6, Kali Yuga began the very day and moment Shri Krishna left the earth planet. The explanation of the verse above, 10.8.13, is as follows. The two words yata and tata occur as a pair. Whether they both appear or only one appears, the other must be understood. In this case, the sentence should read, just as yata, now, idanim, in Dwapara Yuga, the source of all the avatars appears and attracts all living entities within his beautiful blackish color, Krishnata. In Kali Yuga, as well, during the first part, all the avatars appear within him when he takes a yellow form. Idanim. Now, it is taken a slightly broad span from the end of Dwapara Yuga to the first part of Kali Yuga to apply to the appearance of both avataris, namely Shri Krishna and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I just want to read that one more time. In Kali Yuga as well, during the first part, all the avatars appear within him when he takes a yellow form. Idanim. Now, it is a slightly broad span from the end of Dwapara to the first part of Kali Yuga to apply to the appearance of both avataris, namely Shri Krishna and Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That may be so, but did the person with a black color, who is now receiving his Nam Karan, appear in a black form before? Does the word Idanim now indicate something new and temporary? The black avatar is not a temporary phenomenon, because he existed before, and now he is making another appearance. Not only the black avatar, however, all the avatars existed before, but they are making their appearance now. Therefore, the past tense is used, asa. Just as the three colors appeared previously in the yugas, now they manifest. Pointing with his finger, Garugamuni says, "This son of yours, Asya, is Anu Yugam Tanu, he who accepts all the avatar forms yuga after." Sutta Goswami has stated that the avatars are countless, avatara hyasankheya. In the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 10.14.21, Lord Brahma says, Kwa vakatam va kaliva. O Lord, how do you accept these unlimited forms? As this is so, in the 28th Yuga cycle during the Dwapara and Kali Yuga, the avatari appears in black and yellow forms. At this time, the Shama and Krishna Yuga avatars appear within the forms of the avataris. The Lord's yellow form is mentioned in the Vishnu Sahasranam, which appears in chapter 189 of the Dan Dharma Parva of Mahabharata. Oh, we learned this in Gurukul, this verse. Suvarna Varna Hemango Varanangas Chandanang Gadi. In his early pastimes, the Supreme Lord is a householder with a golden complexion. His limbs are beautiful, and his body, smeared with a pulp of sandalwood, seems like molten gold. It further states, Sannyasa Krichama Chanto Nishta Shanti Parayana. In his later pastimes, the Supreme Lord accepts the sannyas order, and he is equipoised and peaceful. He is the highest abode of peace and devotion, for he silences the impersonalist non-devotees. Though this is mentioned in Mahabharata, it is not stated clearly in other places in the Shastra. The reason is that this is a secret matter. Prahlad Maharaj states this is an indirect way in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 7.938. Chana kalo yad abhavas triyugota sattvam. Because the Lord appears in way in Kali Yuga, he is addressed as Triyuga. The Lord is hidden because he covers his color and mood with other colors and moods so that contemporary people cannot recognize him. The reason for this invisibility is that Krishna desired to know the sweetness of Radhika's prem by assuming Radha's body and taking up her emotions and color. Although Srimati Radhika is the most hidden and secret of all, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas know this very well. It is stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 11.5.31-32. Nana tantra vidhanena kalavapi tathashrinu Krishna varnam tisa Krishna. Now listen to the Shastric rules for worshipping the Lord in Kali Yuga. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. Intelligent people worship the Lord by loudly chanting his holy names. The meaning of this praman, this evidence, which appears in the discussion of Yuga avatars, is proved as previously in an esoteric way. There are two meanings to this verse 11.5.31. Kalav api can mean in all Kali Yugas, or it can mean the particular Kali Yuga during the 28th cycle in Brahma's day. King Parikshit was already attentive, but nevertheless, Shukadev further attracts his attention by stating Tata Shrinu, just hear me. Because Shukadev is going to explain the secret meaning of the avatar described in the scriptures, he tells King Parikshit to pay close attention. In Kali Yuga, the Tantras, the supplementary Vedic scriptures, are the prominent proof. Therefore, Shukadev refers to them. Nana Tantra Vidhanena. Considering the Bhagavatam verse 11.5.32, Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam, it is seen that whenever the Lord appears in Kali Yuga, once in the day of Brahma, he appears with a sham complexion. But his transcendental body is not black like a member of the lower class, like a Shudra. Rather, Krishna's transcendental body radiates a superbly beautiful effulgence, Tvisha, which is Akrishna, brighter than a mound of blue sapphires. A second meaning of the above verse. In the Kali Yuga, appearing in the 28th Yuga cycle, the Supreme Lord is of the category Varna of Krishna, but his effulgence is Akrishna, or Pita, yellow. Why yellow? Because in the description of the Yuga avatars, the colors white, red, and blackish were previously mentioned. The only color is Pita, yellow. Therefore, Krishna and Pita combine in one body. Inside Krishna Varna, the category of Krishna, and externally Pita Varna. Or Krishna Varna can mean one who is described, Varnan, the pastimes of Krishna. The meaning of the rest of the verse, Sangopangastra Parshadam, is clear and the same covered nature described there applies to both interpretations. That was a long purport. Verse 14. Let's see, there's Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam evidence of Mahaprabhu's advent. Verse 14. 1 second. Okay, Yashoda Didi, cool. For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared to be as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva. Commentary. Garga informs Nanda that in a previous life, Prag, his son was born in a solitary place from Vasudeva and was called Vasudeva. Not only Garga, but knowledgeable persons also say this. In this way, he discloses the fact. Verse 15. For this son of yours, there are many forms. For this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them. These names Krishna and Vasudeva stated, commentary. These names Krishna and Vasudeva stated by me are not your son's only names. The white and other forms spoken by me are not his only forms. He has other names such as Bhaktavatsal, Sarvagya, and Govardhanadhari according to the qualities and activities he manifests. And the name Krishna, Krish means Satartha or existence, and Na means Ananda or bliss. According to Keshavacharya and others, he is called Krishna because his body, which is composed of mantras, attracts Krish, the devotees. It attracts the devotees, and its color is blackish. Krishna. He is called Govinda because he herds the cows. If I, an astrologer, do not know this, what then can be said of the common man? From Garugamuni's words, Nanda could understand that his son was a Mahapurush, a very great personality who had undergone many births with many names. Garugamuni knew this because Verse 16. To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokul, this child will always act auspiciously for you, and by his grace only, you will surpass all difficulties. Garugamuni continued, your son will produce adhasyad, benefit, and give joy, nandana, to the cowherd men and the herds of cows, Gokul. Or Gopo Gokul Nandana can refer to Krishna's becoming the son, Nandana, of all the cowherds and cows by his expansions during the Brahma Vimohan pastime. Or the word Gopa can be taken as a vocative address to Nanda Maharaj. O cowherd, by your son's mercy, you will very easily and happily cross over all obstacles. Whenever difficulty arises, your son, who is invested with the powers of Narayan, will deliver you. You should therefore take shelter of him. Verse 17. O Nanda Maharaj, as recorded in history, when there was an irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned, and people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves, this child appeared in order to protect the people and enable them to flourish, and he curbed the rogues and thieves. Commentary. In another birth, Pura, the demigods, the Sadhavo, who were harassed by the demons, Dasyu, and bereft of their king, Arajake, Indra, were protected and made strong by your son. Verse 18. Demons, asuras, cannot harm the demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to Krishna is extremely fortunate. Because such persons are very much affectionate toward Krishna, they cannot be defeated by demons like the associates of Kṛṣṇa, or by the internal enemies, the senses. Verse 19. In conclusion, therefore, O Nanda Maharaj, this child of yours is as good as Narayan, and his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, he is exactly like Narayan. You should all raise this child very carefully and cautiously. Commentary. Because your Ishtadev has been pleased, he has given you a son like Narayan. This is the intent of this verse. It is prescribed that you should chant the names Mukunda, Madhusudan, and Narayan. In all good things there are obstacles, so therefore at every moment protect Gopayasva, protect your son carefully. This son whom you protect will in turn protect you from disturbances just like Narayan. Taking the meaning of Narayana Samo to mean to whom Narayan is equal, there is an inference of the inferiority of Narayan. The meaning would then be, you have a son to whom Narayan is equal in qualities, but actually Krishna is much more attractive than Narayan in other major qualities, such as granting liberation to the demons, giving Mahabhav to his devotees, and displaying that which is unattainable by Lakshmi. There is an alternate reading to the phrase Gopayasva Samahita. It can mean the same as Gopayasva, to protect carefully, or it can also be taken as Gopaya, gain of the Gopas, cowherdmen. With Susamahita, it would mean Krishna intensely desires gain or good fortune for the cowherds. Verse 20. Srila Shukadev Goswami continued, after Garugamuni, having instructed Nanda Maharaj about Krishna, departed for his own home, Nanda Maharaj was very pleased and considered himself full of all good fortune. Commentary. He who attracted the life of Putana and Shakatasura also attracted the mind of the highly qualified Garga. Garga returned home after withdrawing his mind from Krishna and directing it back to himself. Atmanam samadishya. Verse 21. After a short time passed, both brothers, Ram and Krishna, began to crawl on the ground of Vraj with the strength of their hands and knees, and thus enjoy their childhood play. Commentary. Krishna's pastimes mixed with Aishwarya, grandeur, such as killing Putana, and his Shuddha Madhurya Lila, his pure sweet pastimes, are both presented. Both are worthy of remembrance by Krishna's devotees. Oh, and Rup Manjari Didi mentioned the other day that this is Rukmini's favorite verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So let's read the Sanskrit. Is that right, Rukmini Didi? Yeah, his body which is composed of mantras. Yeah. Tavangriyugmamanukrisya sarisripanto Gosha pragosha ruchiram vrajakardameshu Tanadahrishta manasavanusritya loka Mugdha prabhita varuyaturanti matro. When Krishna and Balaram, with the strength of their legs, crawled in the muddy places created in Vraj by cow dung and cow urine, their crawling resembled the crawling of serpents, and the sound of their ankle bells was very charming. Very much pleased by the sound of other people's ankle bells, they used to follow these people as if going to their mothers. But when they saw that these were other people, they became afraid and returned to their real mothers, Yashoda and Rohini. So sweet. Commentary. Krishna and Balaram crawled about the courtyard on their hands and in a crooked way they moved through the dirt, which was mixed with cow milk and urine. Their ankle bells tinkled pleasantly like the sound of kartals, or the voices of the gopis and gopas, Gosha Pragosha. The cowherd men became blissful upon hearing their jingling ankle bells. Sridhar Swami says Gosha means bells. When strangers came in the yard, one second, let me just clear my throat. Okay. When strangers came in the yard, the two boys, thinking they were their mothers, would joyfully crawl after them. But when they realized their mistake, the two brothers would suddenly become fearful and scamper back to their mothers. Mugdha Pitavad. Enchanted and afraid. The suffix vad is used to indicate that Krishna and Balaram were playing the part of ordinary children who make mistakes and experience fear. But in reality, they were not ordinary children. I remember when I think I was like 4 or 5, I went to Disney World with my family, with like my mother's side of the family. And I lost them all, and I remember running up to each person from behind, thinking that it was my aunt, and I'd grab the person's hand, and then I'd look up, and then I'd see, oh my God, it's somebody else, and then I ran away. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, that's very mundane, and I don't know why I mentioned that. Okay, verse 23. Dressed with muddy earth mixed with cow dung and cow urine, the babies looked very beautiful. And when they went to their mothers, both Yashoda and Rohini picked them up with great affection, embraced them, and allowed them to suck the milk flowing from their breasts. While sucking the breasts, the babies smiled, and their small teeth were visible. Their mothers, upon seeing those beautiful teeth, enjoyed great transcendental bliss. Mother Yashoda and Rohini felt tremendous joy upon lifting the two children in their arms. The two mothers took both children as their own, and the two children took both mothers as their own. Due to motherly affection, Grinaya, milk flowed freely, snuvantyo, from the breasts of Yashoda and Rohini. And in my Gurudev's Dhammadarashtakam book, he explains how, like how there's the Ashtasattvic bhava, outward symptoms of ecstasy that are seen, like hair standing on end, tears flowing, and all these different, but then he says that there's a special extra sattvic bhav in Vatsalya ras, which is not in any of the other rasas, and that sattvic bhav is milk flowing from the breasts automatically out of motherly affection. It just automatically just comes out. The dust on the bodies of Krishna and Balaram enhanced their beauty and attraction, just like cosmetics. This is established by using the metaphor of sundare kim na sundaram. An ornament looks no more beautiful on a beautiful person. Mouth, mukam, is in the singular because each mother concentrated on the mouth of one child. The mother's great pleasure from seeing one or two small teeth, alpadashana mukam, and their innocent smiling mouths, mugdha smita. Verse 24. Within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies Ram and Krishna. The babies would catch the ends of the calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. I found a nice picture of that. Yeah, the ninth sattvic bhav. Let's see, there's a sweet picture. Krishna catching a calves. There. Oh, I didn't see that one. That's the original one. Let's look at that. Oh, that's such a sweet one. I've never seen this picture before. I think this must have been done by... no. And let's see, what's this one? Oops. Hey, let me open up image in your chat. There. Here's a picture. Alright, let's go back to the verse. Okay. As Krishna and Balaram grew in size and beauty and performed their childhood pastimes, their Kumar Lila, they became very attractive to all the ladies, Angana Darshaniya. The women of Raj, the Abala, became blissful, Jahrisur, upon seeing the boys enjoying their pastimes. What pranks did the divine brothers perform? Sometimes Krishna and Balaram would grab the tails of the calves lying on the ground. Startled, the calves would jump up and run away while dragging the boys along the ground behind them. Instead of letting go, the boys would clutch their tails even more tightly out of fear and begin crying. The gopis would laugh and say to the boys, "You are weaker than these small calves, still taking milk from the udder." Then they would free their hands from the calves' tails. No, we're not. Alright, verse 25. When Mother Yashoda and Rohini were unable to protect the babies from calamities threatened by horned cows, by fire, by animals with claws and teeth such as monkeys and dogs and cats, and by thorns, swords, and other weapons on the ground, they were always in anxiety, and their household engagements were disturbed. At that time, they were fully equipoised in the transcendental ecstasy known as the distress of material affection, for this was aroused within their minds. I'm really curious about this word swords, though. How is there swords lying about in Vraj, like the cowherd village? These are all Vaishyas. They have like swords lying all over. Sanskrit dictionary. The word is asi, I think. Where is it? Yeah, see, it says asi. Shringagni Damstras. Let's see what... Hey, that's not the one I wanted. Anyways, I'm wasting time. Sorry, guys. Okay. Asi. Let's see. Asi means a sword, knife. Maybe a knife. Yeah, see, knife. Okay. I think knife would be more... That makes more sense to me. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, I'm going back to reading now. Okay. Sharp objects, probably. Okay. Commentary. Let me just look at the comments really quick. Okay. Maybe they're there for warding off wild animals. Okay, and Matsya Avatar Prabhu translated it as knives. Okay. Krishna and Balaram were very naughty, ati chalo, because they wanted to play with the horned creatures, shringi, like bulls, creatures with sharp teeth, dangshri, like dogs, fire, knives, and birds, dvija. The mothers could not properly perform their household duties. Thus their minds became disturbed, anavasta. Vasata. Sorry. This is a sanchari bhav that nourished vatsalya ras, motherly love for the elderly gopis. Sorry, guys. Verse 26. O King Parikshit, within a very short time, both Rama and Krishna began to walk very easily in Gokul on their legs, by their own strength, without the need to. Commentary. Without scraping their knees on the ground, Agrishta Janubhi, Krishna and Balaram effortlessly, Anjasa, they effortlessly began walking about Gokul. The word Anjasa is sometimes substituted with the word Ojasa, which means boldly. In other words, Krishna and Balaram stopped crawling and started walking boldly around Gokul. Verse 27. Thereafter, Lord Krishna, along with Balaram, began to play with the other children of the cowherd men, thus awakening the transcendental bliss of the cowherd women. Commentary. In the pastimes of stealing butter, Krishna was the predominant figure. Therefore, in this verse, Krishna is described as Saharamo, along with Balaram. Verse 28. The very attractive child restlessness of Krishna. All the gopis in the neighborhood, to hear about Krishna's activities again and again, would approach Mother Yashoda and speak to her as follows. Commentary. Seeing the naughty pastimes of Krishna and enjoying them very much, the gopis in the neighborhood would approach Yashoda and tell her what they saw. When they would gather in Yashoda's house, Yashoda would stop her many house chores and listen to the activities of her child. On the pretext of reprimanding her for not controlling her restless son, the gopis would give great joy to Mother Yashoda. Verse 29. Our dear friend Yashoda, your son sometimes comes to our house before the milking of the cows and releases the calves. And when the master of the house becomes angry, your son merely smiles. Sometimes he devises some process by which he steals palatable curd, butter, and milk, which he then eats and drinks. When the monkeys assemble, he divides it with them, and when the monkeys have their bellies so full that they won't take more, he breaks the pots. Sometimes, if he gets no opportunity to steal butter or milk from a house, he'll be angry at the householders, and for his revenge, he will agitate the small children by pinching them. Then, when the children begin crying, Krishna will go away. Commentary. Krishna is a little bully, yeah? Commentary. The gopi said, Mother Yashoda, just hear about your son's mischievous deeds. Just before dawn, your restless son walks around the neighborhood looking for an opportunity to steal some yogurt. Before the milking time, asamai, that's like at the improper time, he releases the calves, and they proceed to drink all their mother's milk. When everyone runs hither and thither to catch all the calves, Krishna stealthily enters their houses, steals yogurt, and runs away. So the releasing the calves is part of his distraction. Gets everybody running, trying to catch the calves. That's his chance. One day when that yogurt thief came, we shouted, "Beat him! Tie him up!" But he smiled ever so sweetly. Smitten by his intoxicating smile, we forgot everything. Stunned, we just watched him do his dirty work without responding. Sitting calmly, he ate our milk and butter without even running away, while we stood by totally bewildered. Yashoda replied, "In that case, why didn't you just let him eat till his belly was full?" The gopis. "He is always being fed by you, so he has no hunger. It is not a question of hunger. He has a taste for stealing. He likes to steal milk and yogurt. He does not like it if we give it to him." Being skillful at releasing the calves and smiling, Krishna steals in two ways: beyond our sight and before our eyes. There's no fun in being given milk and butter. Gotta steal it. That's where you get the thrill. Using his he finds different ways to steal. One day, even before eating the yogurt himself, he distributed it to the monkeys. When all the monkeys had taken their fill and could eat no more, Krishna thought, "Without you, what is the use of my eating? So I will not eat." Then in anger, he broke the yogurt pots. When he enters a house and does not find any yogurt, he becomes angry at the occupants and says, "Stay here. I will come back tomorrow morning with a flaming torch in my hands. If you don't give me some yogurt, I will burn down your house along with your relatives and children." My God. After saying that, Krishna makes the small children cry by scratching them with his nails. Oh my God. That's really mean. Oh my God, I think I have to share that. That's just too much. Anyways, let's do here. Verse. When the milk and curd are kept high on a swing hanging from the ceiling, and Krishna and Balaram cannot reach it, they arrange to reach it by piling up various planks and turning upside down the mortar for grinding spices. Being quite aware of the contents of a pot, they pick holes in it. While the elderly gopis go about their household affairs, Krishna and Balaram sometimes go into a dark room, brightening the place with valuable jewels and ornaments on their bodies, and taking advantage of this light by stealing. Commentary. The gopis continue. Another day he entered a house where the yogurt pot was beyond reach, so he devised a method to get it. Sometimes he piles up the chairs, climbs atop a grinding mortar, or on the shoulders of a friend. Just by seeing the exterior of a pot hanging from the ceiling on a string, he knows its contents. If he cannot loot the pot, he makes a hole in it with a pole having a sharp iron point. He is very learned in all this work: how to put a hole in the pot, how to make the yogurt pour out, and how to open the mouths of the boys so that they can take their fill. Even a dark storeroom is no obstacle for Krishna and his friends. The brilliant jewels on their bodies act as lamps to brighten the room. He knows all the tricks of the trade. Yashoda replies, "Why aren't you more careful?" The gopis. "Your son only comes when everyone is busily engaged in household affairs. He has already stolen our hearts with the bewitching power of his gentle smile. By the power of his gentle smile, his baby talk, his sweet movements, and his beautiful body. Still, he likes to steal yogurt on the sly. Before stealing, Krishna sends some boys as spies to find out who's there in the gopis' homes." Verse 31. When Krishna is caught in his naughty activities, the master of the house will say to him, "Oh, you are a thief," and artificially express anger at Krishna. Krishna will then reply, "I am not a thief, you are a thief." Sometimes, being angry, Krishna passes urine and stool in a neat, clean place in our houses. But now, our dear friend Yashoda, this expert thief is sitting before you like a very good boy. Sometimes all the gopis would look at Krishna sitting there, his eyes fearful so that his mother would not chastise him. And when they saw Krishna's beautiful face, instead of chastising him, they would simply look upon his face and enjoy transcendental bliss. Mother Yashoda would mildly smile at all this fun, and she would not want to chastise her blessed transcendental child. Commentary. The gopis continue. O Yashoda, O famous one, you appear very blissful on hearing the pastimes of your son. It is not only that he steals, he also passes stool and urine. He passes stool and urine in the room set aside for worship, and thus contaminates it. He also pulls the ladies' braids and saris, kicks them, and proposes marriage to them. In the future, this son will bring you lots of wealth. Now he is stealing yogurt, but when he grows up, he'll steal others' money and wives. But now he looks very innocent in front of you. Supratika. Now the result of the gopis' loving criticism is stated. Thinking Yashoda might beat him, Krishna showed fear in his eyes, and his beautiful face trembled. The gopis could not help but look at Krishna's charming face. Everything was told to Yashoda, who had become blissful upon seeing Krishna's face. Everything was told to Yashoda, who had become blissful on seeing Krishna's face, which was illuminated with different emotions, and by hearing about his wonderful pranks. Yashoda simply beamed a wide smile, but she harbored no desire to scold her son. Yashoda thought, "Let the gopis drown in bliss by my son's mischief-making. And when such incidents are reported to me, let these stories drown me in bliss too." Though not explicitly stated here, this mood should be understood. Verse 32. One day, while Krishna was playing with his small playmates, including Balarama and other sons of the Gopas, all his friends came together and lodged a complaint to Mother Yashoda. "Mother," they submitted, "Krishna has eaten earth." Commentary. The taste of maternal affection by the gopis finding fault in Krishna has been completed. This verse presents the taste of Vismaya-ras, astonishment, Vismay, astonishment by the criticisms of Krishna's friends. Krishna was not scolded for stealing yogurt, but he was scolded for eating dirt. Both were incited by love. Verse 33. Upon hearing this from Krishna's playmates, Mother Yashoda, who was always full of anxiety over Krishna's welfare, picked Krishna up with her arms to look into his mouth and chastise him. Her eyes fearful, she spoke to her son as follows. Yashoda held Krishna by the hands for fear that he would run away. Though Yashoda scolded him, her intention was to benefit him. In this case, scolding and beating nourish prema. They are not faults. This is the usual habit of a mother towards her son, so it is not unjust. Krishna's eyes were filled with fear, but this fear is an ornament of the Lord caused by prema. It is not a fault. Verse 34. Dear Krishna, why are you so restless that you have eaten dirt in a solitary place? This complaint has been lodged against you by all your playmates, including your elder brother Balarama. How is this? Commentary. Yashoda said, "O one with restless body and mind, did you eat dirt? Did you not get sweets in my house? Not in my presence, but stealthily you have done it. Your friends are saying this, so it cannot be false. You cannot say that they are speaking against you because they want me to beat you, because even Baladev is saying this. He is standing right here saying this. There is no doubt about it." Verse 35. Lord Shri Krishna replied, "My dear mother, I have not eaten dirt. All my friends complaining against me are liars. If you think they are being truthful, you can directly look into my mouth and examine it. Commentary. Krishna said, I did not eat dirt. To tell a lie for fear of being beaten is natural for a child, and it nourishes the Vatsalya Bhav, parental affection. Vatsalya and other rasas spring from Prem, and Prem rests within a devotee's heart. It arises in the devotee because of Krishna's inherent affection for his devotees, his Bhakta Vatsalya. The Lord's quality of Bhakta Vatsalya is greater than any of his other spiritual qualities such as purity, mercy, or truthfulness. As Krishna's telling a lie springs from this Bhakta Vatsalya, it is not a fault. Rather, it is the crown jewel of all great qualities. I think my Gurudev mentions this purport in Damodarashtakam. He does. Yeah. Verse 36. Mother Yashoda challenged Krishna. If you have not eaten earth, then open your mouth wide. When challenged by his mother in this way, Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, to exhibit pastimes like a human child, opened his mouth. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is full of all opulences, did not disturb his mother's parental affection, his opulence was automatically displayed, for Krishna's opulence is never lost at any stage, but is manifest at the proper time. Being afraid of punishment, Krishna told a lie so that Yashoda could not detect his fault. However, how could he do this? If Krishna were to open his mouth, the evidence would be found. The answer is given. Krishna possesses the unimpeded, non-contradictory power of Avyahataishvarya. He whose power is never conquered does not display this power because of the influence of the sweetness of love. But looking for service, it finds some opportunity. This Aishvarya is looking for service, and then it finds some opportunity. That's really neat. Inspired by the boy's power of Satya Sankalpa, whose very desire must be fulfilled, this unimpeded Aishvarya on its own manifested the universal form, and Yashoda, lost in astonishment, forgot to scold her son. Was it necessary for Krishna to taste the sweetness of Prem and thus have to show fear of being beaten? He could have stood there without fear, taking the help of his Aishvarya Shakti, thinking, I am the Lord. The answer is found in the words Krida Pradhana Manuja Balaka, which means that Krishna specifically took the form of a human child to perform many playful, sweet pastimes in Vraj. Verses 37 to 39. I should stop soon. It's already 8:37. Hey, times 8:37. Okay. Okay, let's just finish this pastime and then I'll stop. When Krishna opened his mouth wide by the order of Mother Yashoda, she saw within his mouth all moving and non-moving entities, outer space, and all directions, along with the mountains, islands, oceans, the surface of the earth, the blowing wind, fire, the moon, and the stars. She saw the planetary systems, water, light, air, sky, and creation by the transformation of Ahankar. She also saw the senses, the mind, sense perception, and the three qualities, goodness, passion, and ignorance. She saw the time allotted for the living entities. She saw natural instinct and the reaction of karma. And she saw desires in different varieties of bodies, moving and non-moving. Seeing all these aspects of the cosmic manifestation, along with herself and Vrindavan Dham, she became doubtful and fearful of her son's nature. Commentary. According to the prayers of Lord Brahma, Yashoda did not see the universe in Krishna's mouth, but in his belly. Jagat means moving and Stasnu means immobile living entities. Kang means Antariksha or Puvarloka, the celestial sky. Sadri refers to the whole earth along with its mountains, islands, and oceans. Savayu refers to the blowing wind which moves the planets. Napasvan means outer space. Vaikarikani is the demigod in charge of the senses. Gunastraya are the three material qualities, sattva, raja, and tamas. Yashoda could see these formless things by seeing the form of their presiding deities, and in when they assumed gross forms. At the same time, Yashoda saw the jiva, the living entity, and kal, time, which agitates the three gunas. Which agitates the gunas, the modes. The qualities, which agitates the qualities, the swabhav, the cause of transformation, and karma ashai, the cause of birth, and the resultant action and desire for material enjoyment. I think that does mean modes. Krishna showed the variegated universe within which exists all the different forms of bodies. Tano means in Krishna's body, but specifically in his belly. Through Krishna's wide open mouth, Yashoda saw all these marvelous things in Krishna's belly. She also saw herself, along with her son and husband in Vraj. Brahma's words indicate that this vision was of this particular universe. The universe was simultaneously inside Krishna's belly and outside as well by the inconceivable power of Yoga Maya. By showing himself within the universe and by pervading the universe at the same time, Krishna showed his limited and unlimited natures. The vision of the Lord in the universe and the universe in the Lord, which was meant for the Shanta Bhaktas, reverential devotees, was shown to Yashoda, whose lotus feet are touched by the heads of the Madhurya Bhaktas, the intimate confidential devotees. Upon attaining this amazing vision, Yashoda began to worry about her son. Okay, maybe we just read this verse and then we can stop for today. Thank you for letting me go so much over time today. Verse 40. Mother Yashoda began to argue within herself. Is this a dream, or is it an illusory creation by the external energy? Has this been manifested by my own intelligence, or is it some mystic power of my child? Commentary. Yashoda began to argue within herself about the cause of the vision. I am not dreaming because my eyes are wide open. Is this some illusion created by the demigods? Why should the demigods delude an insignificant person like me? Is it some mental derangement? No, because my mind is stable and in good working order. This vision must be due to some mystic power, Atma Yoga of my son, since Garugamuni said he would have the qualities like Narayan. But that's exactly the same as Srila Prabhupada's purport. Verse 41. Therefore, let me surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offer my obeisances unto him who is beyond the conception of human speculation, the mind, activities, words, and arguments, who is the original cause of this causation, by whom the entire cosmos is maintained, and by whom we can conceive of its existence. Let me simply offer my obeisances, for he is beyond my contemplation, speculation, and meditation. He is beyond all my material activities. Yashoda rejected the last reason after seeing her son's hunger, thirst, naughtiness, and innocence. Not finding any real cause of the vision, Yashoda simply offered respects to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, who is the ultimate cause of all things beyond our comprehension, and she prayed for his protection. Yashoda prayed, the Supreme Lord is the shelter of the visible universe, Yad Ashraya. He creates the universe and is the visible cause of the universe, Yena. But he cannot be understood by persons like me, Durvibhavya. Let me simply offer my respects to his lotus feet, within my mind, intelligence, actions, and words. May he please remove all disturbances from my child. Verse 42. It is by the influence of the Supreme Lord's Maya that I am wrongly thinking that Nanda Maharaj is my husband, that Krishna is my son, and that because I am the queen of Nanda Maharaj, all the wealth of the cows and calves are my possessions, and all the cowherd men and their wives are my subjects. Actually, I also am eternally subordinate to the Supreme Lord. He is my ultimate shelter. Commentary. Yashoda prayed, "The Supreme Lord maintains and protects my son. If that is so, then what is the use of my foolishly thinking in terms of I and mine?" Giving up her false conceptions and surrendering to the Lord, Yashoda speaks, I think that I am the wife of Nanda Maharaj and the queen of all the cowherd men and women of Raj. All the wealth of the cows are my possessions. I think that Krishna, who is the life of the residents of Raj, is my son, and that I am his maintainer. By daily worship of Vishnu, the Brahmins and the demigods, by meditation and by giving charity, I myself can give protection to my son. This is all misconception. I should not be so proud, because actually all of Raj's wealth has come by the mercy of Vishnu. Similarly, it was Vishnu's mercy that my child was protected at every moment from demons like Putana. I should not think that I, as just another mother among the common cowherds with earthly sentiments, am his protector. This type of logic is temporary and not permanent in Yashoda. It is similar to the temporary desire of the confirmed materialist to give up wife and family because of some temporary spiritual urge. I think we'll end with this verse, verse 43. Mother Yashoda, by the grace of the Lord, could understand the real truth. But then again, the Supreme Master, by the influence of the internal potency, Yogamaya, inspired her to become absorbed in intense maternal affection for her son. Commentary. Discerning the truth in this way, Yashoda desired to give up her sense of possessiveness. But then the Lord, as a small boy, thought, "But who will cuddle and hold me?" When Krishna thought in this way, Yashoda was overcome by the very form of affection for her son. The word mayam in this phrase means affection itself, namely prem in the form of parental affection, vatsalya bhav. The word mayam here indicates bewilderment. In other words, Yashoda became blinded by prem. Verse 44. Immediately forgetting Yogamaya's illusion that Krishna had shown the universal form within his mouth, Mother Yashoda took her son on her lap as before, feeling increased affection in her heart for her transcendental child. Commentary. Just as one quickly forgets a dream, through the influence of Maya, Yoga forgot completely about the universal form. In the presence of Aishvarya Gyan, knowledge of the Lord's opulence and majesty, intimacy and affection is restricted. Now, being unrestricted, Yashoda's affection increased even more. Shukadev describes Yashoda as pravriddha sneha kalila hridaya, one whose heart was completely covered, kalila, with increased affection. Okay, so this is a good place to stop. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Haribo Nitai Gaur Haribo. Oh, wow, we only have 1,500 words left. Okay, just because I don't want to make you stay here so much longer, I think what I will do is just read these 1,500 words sometime today. Just finish off this chapter. Because there are 10,080 words in this chapter, and we only have 1,500 left. Unless you want me to read it now, I wouldn't mind reading the 1,500 words now, but maybe just because it's getting late, I'll do it at another time. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna read it at another time, and then tomorrow we can read from Srila Prabhupada's. Yeah, we can begin the next chapter. Let's see, what is the next chapter? I think it's the next chapter is Dambandhan Lila, I remember. The Krishna, so we'll start that. Let's see the comments. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to do that. I'll read 1,500 words later on today. And actually today I'm going for a program in Kendrapada, yeah. And there's a 12-hour Mahamantra Kirtan going on there. And yeah, I'm going to be spending the night there also. And I'll probably be coming back tomorrow evening. But they said that I can still do the morning reading tomorrow there. So hopefully the internet works okay there. All right, Haribo. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan. Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Shri Gurudev Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Vigyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtatara Shata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishta Bhagavat Shri Goksharas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishta Shri Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Nitil Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupano Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Padadash Raghunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda Ki Jai. Nama Chai Shri Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौर मंडल ब्रज मंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री मुनि देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माय की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। Shri Krishna Kanaya ki jai. Shri Brajendra Nandan Sham Sundar Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai. Shri Raseshwari Vrishabhanu Nandini Shrimati Radha Ṭhākurani ki jai. Shri Nanda Baba Yashoda Maya ki jai. Shri Rohini Devi ki jai. Shri Dao Baya ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Shri Sarva Vrajavasi Gan ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Padadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha. Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat. Oh, and yeah, you know, one thing that really sucked when I was in Nrsimhadev Mandir and my phone was stolen. I had $100, like I had a really good quality lavalier mic, like this. Um, it was $100. I got it used though. I got it very cheap used, but that was connected to my phone when it got stolen, and so that also was lost. I lost a mic worth $100. Right now, I'm just borrowing this from uh, from somebody here. But um, if anybody would like to help me get a little mic, I won't get that one, like that expensive one. But yeah, if anybody would like to help me get a mic, then that would be helpful for whenever I'm not in Navadvip. Then we can still have good quality sound. So yeah, if anybody would like to help me with that, just send me a message. And I have my friend Shivas is going to be coming from at the end of this month from Oregon, which has no tax also, so you can get a better deal on it. All right, Dandavat Pranam everybody. See you all tomorrow for Dambandhan Lila, and I will read the rest of this chapter, 1,500 words. So that I'm guessing that will take like 12 minutes or something to read, and or 15 minutes to read. So you can look back at my YouTube channel at any time to listen to the replay, because I'm just going to go on at a random time today just to finish off the chapter so that we can start with Srila Prabhupada's purports again tomorrow. All right, Dandavat Pranams, everybody. Haribol. Yeah, Raseshwari Mataji, I start a GoFundMe for my phone. I do want to do that, actually. I want to do a GoFundMe for this time. I don't want to get a phone. I'm going to get a camera, actually. I want to level up my recording. Like I have higher quality recordings, but I don't want to do a GoFundMe for getting a camera until I'm ready to start recording. And right now I'm going to focus on publications a bit more. And so once I've finished, we have to make a new edition of the songbook, a new Gaudiya Giti Gucha. So, and I'm supposed to finish that before Kartik time. And so, yeah, I'm going to just focus on that till Kartik time. I'll do the daily readings, and also in the meantime, as I mentioned before, I'm going to be writing down ideas of things that I can make videos on, and I'll be developing them over time so that whenever I do get a camera and I get my equipment for recording, then I will already have a bunch of things ready to go so that I can, yeah, once I'm ready to start recording, that's when I will start a GoFundMe. And actually what I want to get is a camera. The cameras are $700. That's the one that I want. And I want to get a lens for it, and that's kind of expensive. That's $300. But it's a really good lens. I've been doing tons of research actually now. And then I want to get a MacBook because this computer that I have right now is really old, and it keeps on shutting off, and I have problems. And I also want to try to sell this and see how much I can get for it. So that would go towards getting a new laptop also. And then I want to get Final Cut Pro. And Final Cut Pro is and then I can make really nice quality videos. Because right now I've been making all these Rupa Shiksha videos, I've been making them on my iPad. But I'm very limited on what I can do, and it takes me a long time because it's not ideal making it on an iPad. I want to make it on an actual MacBook with Final Cut Pro, and then I can make really high quality videos. And I have a bunch of ideas. I want to make educational videos on different topics. So like we can go through the whole Archon process, how they do Archon in the Mat. I want to make videos on, I want to go through different things, like go through Shikshashtakam, go through Upadeshamrita, go through Mana Shiksha, and we can get really deep into it. I got a 5 terabyte hard drive filled with all of my Gurudev's video like classes. So I want to put lots of video clips of my Gurudev in there. And yeah, actually this is what I want to do. I'm getting into something. I'm not sure. I already wrote something about this in a posting, but on Vine of Devotion. But I want to make a really good capturing system. It's called a second brain. I just got a book on it. I'm going to start reading it. But it's where it's how you capture all sorts of information. You select the best things that you like, and then organize them in a really nice way, and then you're able to after that, your knowledge base, your second brain begins to build more and more and more. Then you'll be able to express all these things in an original way. You can make different kinds of connections, and then when it comes to making videos, it won't be so much like, what should I make a video on? And I have to start from scratch. But I'll already have all this stuff developed, and then I just need to express it. I don't know. I think it will really. I'll be able to make really high quality videos if I spend some time making a second brain like this. So I'm not explaining this very clearly, but yeah. So that's my plan right now, is just to be building the second brain, and then eventually, maybe next year, I will do a GoFundMe. Maybe Gaur Purnima time, when people come that time. Before then, I'll do a GoFundMe so that I can get all this stuff, and then make regular videos. Something I especially want to do is make videos on learning Bengali, so that you can understand, and maybe I'll go through different kirtans, but explain the grammar. I've already been kind of doing it on the Rupa Shiksha videos, but yeah, I want to do it even more so that you can be very clear on why the words look like this and why the words look like that, and then you can understand the songs without any translation, and you can understand them in a more deep way, like you're actually speaking them yourself, and then you automatically can memorize songs. Once you understand the language, then without even trying, they start to stick in your head, and so it's such a valuable thing to have, just to know basic Bengali grammar, and so I want to do that. Also make, yeah, I have a bunch of ideas actually of educational videos I'd like to make. All right, sorry, I'm rambling. See you all tomorrow. Haribol.